No, you can't, you gotta leave it open.
Gotta leave it open. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I made that mistake sometimes. And
Yeah.
that's good, I'm now reacting because, a year ago, I was like, what's the problem? No, good morning, I'd like to call the Transportation Authority of Calhoun County special meeting, to order, on August 6, 2025, at the Pool Family Community Center in the Valentine Room. Can someone help with the roll call real quick?
Yes, we can do.
Christie,
Roll call.
thank you.
So Tom Turkowitz,
Here.
Eric Stewart,
Present.
Amy Evans, here. Maya Williams, here. Janisha Morris, here. Vivian Davis. Dr. Paul Watson. Thank you.
Okay, let it be known that with the attending members, we do have a quorum today, based on the business that we have in front of us. We can take a look at the agenda items that we have. And I would entertain a motion for approval of those items, please. Also moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Tarkowitz and supported by Evans. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Perfect. Our next agenda item is public comments and agenda items. Any public comments? So we have a couple of guests. It's always great. Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. We don't have anything on that piece. So we'll move right into unfinished business and the crux of why we're here today is to review a managerial services agreement, appointment of an executive director. That's still in the progress of us putting the TAC administration together and what have you, in lieu of the pending date of October 1st of this year, where our status will become solidified. So having said that, I'd like to ask Councilor Cherry to maybe give us some context behind this agreement and a little bit of background, if we could, relative to what's entailed in this document.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Rich Sherry, Miller Johnson, your corporate counsel, one of them. And so what we have here today is before you is our managerial service agreement. And who that is for in particular is for your executive director. Mallory Avis is your proposed executive director. And what we wanted to do is to have a bridge from today's date up until the full transition October 1st. And so in order to get business done, we need to have an executive director in place. And you'll see that in the next resolution that her name's all over it. So we need to ensure that we have that executive director in place and to be able to have business done. This agreement kind of grew out. We drafted it to have multiple managers, but we decided to narrow it to just get Mallory on board first. And then once we do the more comprehensive service agreement, that's where we'll have additional employees in that agreement, which will hopefully take place October 1st. So that agreement's in flux right now. It's in the hands of the city of Battle Creek. And then once we get their information, then we'll have that agreement as well. So as far as some of the terms that are really important in this agreement, payment, right? And so there had to be some consideration. That consideration is paying the reporter a fourth of Mallory's salary for this period of time. And that will be ideally paid around October 1st, along with the comprehensive service. And also we wanted to make sure that Mallory's time wasn't taken up with the running the operations of Battle Creek Transit. And so, we put in a provision in there that, they will have to come to you first. Before they give her extra activities. We understand that, her services for Battle Creek Transit in order to make it a smooth transition are important and they're gonna need her time to time, but it shouldn't be the majority of her time. And the majority of her time should be with the TAC. Those are some of the high level items in this agreement. If there's any questions, I can address those, but that's what we're doing here today.
Good. Any questions for our council?
I'll leave that, I'm sure.
100%.
So if you have answered questions, you can.
Yes, thank you for providing that level of detail and, what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and bring this, managerial services agreement via motion, to the table, and then we'll have a discussion based on that. So based on the document that was just explained, presented, reviewed by the board, is there a motion to accept this agreement as written? For the purposes of managerial services, regarding Manly's executive director. It's been moved, by Commissioner Morris and seconded by Treasurer, Williams. All those, let me back up, any discussion? So anything based on what we heard that, to have further discussion on what have you. Okay, hearing it, one thing that I would just like to say that, we've gone through this process, we're building an organization, and, I just would like to say my experience with Mallory over the past several years, she comes with a bevy of experience. I often refer to her as kind of a transportation nerd, but, that entire team are transportation nerds and live and breathe transportation. I don't want to go through her resume, background, or what have you, because I'll say this in public. Her body of work speaks for itself. And, bringing the transportation authority to bear over the past 5-6 years or so, from concept into this reality point, it's not lost on me that her tireless work of her and her team and her leadership is why we're in this room making these decisions today. So I look forward to what this looks like 5 years from now, but I see that her leadership and, what she brings to the table, both locally, state, and federally, is critical to this process moving forward, this organization being as solid as possible. So I fully support, this direction. This management services agreement as the first step in the right direction of building a solid organization, for this county. Having said that,
Is there any question, Jason? So is this agreement on our agenda, talks about the appointment? This managerial service agreement doesn't make the appointment, does it?
what do you mean?
Well, on our agenda, it's a managerial service agreement, appointment of executive director. So does this agreement actually make the appointment?
Between the agreement and I'm gonna go to council, between the agreement and the resolution.
Well, no, you guys have to, okay, so the agreement, it's kind of twofold. The agreement is the agreement between you and the city to have the service.
Yes.
It's a lease agreement. The appointment is something you have to do.
And I'm sorry.
Via motion.
Via motion.
Okay, so there's two
There's two separate things here.
here, so the resolution is a third thing.
Yep, yeah, so I mean, you can do, both at the same motion. The.
I'd like to separate it, just to make it very clean.
Okay, yeah,
If that's okay with you, sir.
That's the will of the board. Who made the motion? That would be Janasia.
I'm not opposed to separating them. I guess I'm just a little confused on what the benefit to separating them will be, because Mallory's name is already in the contract, and like, under section 3, it says the city shall provide the services through the assignment of Mallory Davis as executive director. So like the contract is already outlining that we are appointing Mallory as executive director. So I think we should-
I like the discussion, but based on that language embedded in here, it almost, because then it becomes, which one do you do first?
Yeah.
But it's implied in here that an appointment is what we're also agreeing on by agreeing for her to be a part of this management services agreement.
Exactly, and so, I'm sorry, you didn't ask me a question, but provide just some context, yes, the agreement contemplates your appointment, right? And so, if you, that's why it's kind of, it might be. You know, with due respect, just cleaner just to do it as an appointment and approval of the agreement.
100%. So don't sit down yet. So per Robert's rules, are you willing to change your motion to state that the appointment is embedded in the intent of that motion?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how to do that. Do I have to retract my initial motion or just?
Yes.
Every state.
Okay, so I would like to retract the first motion that I made and put a new motion on the floor for us to accept the managerial services agreement with an appointment of executive director as outlined in the contract.
Second.
Okay, it's been motion, the second has been accepted. Any other discussion about separating that before I call the vote?
But I would just like to make sure that it's in our minutes that we direct Labor Council to develop an employment agreement with Mallory. Which is, because we're appointing her without any terms, and I don't know if that's real fair to her. So somewhere we should be directing. Where we later on. With employment agreement.
100%. I think this is the first step in making sure that we get quality time with the duties that we have to do between now and October and beyond, and that there's something in writing based on the discussion and the agreements that have been had with the city to make sure monetarily we're covered both directions too. That's embedded in this page.
Yeah, and somewhere in the future we'll have to do the employment agreements.
100%.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
as a point of clarification, she is technically a city of Battle Creek employee until we make the transition. For all employees. And once that happens, then the employment agreement kicks in. You need to start negotiating terms for the employment agreement, which we will try.
Yeah. It's really a little premature to do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, okay, thank you. Any other discussion points? Okay, hearing none, I'll call. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Perfect. Motion carries. We'll move right into the resolution. I should just have you say it.
I know. So I'm used to sometimes being in court, so I like to say it.
Yeah. Right.
Got it. And so now before you have is the resolution, approving, basically, the application and administration. Authorizing the filing of the authority, it says it in the title, but so, basically. This is, this is the reason why we had the, special meeting today, because this needs to get into MDOT like ASAP. And so it's one of the last things we had to do in order to get the governor's letter, which is again the designation of the TAC to receive to the federal or state federal funds. So that's why we have this, and that's why we did it in the order approving your executive director. Now your executive director can do everything she needs to do to first certification to serve. So, yep.
Yeah, and keep in mind, at the last meeting, we pretty much brought Mallory's name forward as a representative of creating those documents, since we couldn't do that.
Right.
Given we were part of the board, so.
And a little part of cleanup, it does say 9 o'clock. it's gonna be, did you?
I did change that.
It's,
Oh, you did?
it's
Okay.
changed on here.
Oh, my copy said mine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And any questions?
Yes, so for this resolution,
Mhm.
one thing that I would ask is that we go back and fill it in. Okay.
Yeah.
With the appropriate language, but then, we changed, since Secretary Davis is not here. You would include my name there. And I'll go ahead and make it official as soon as possible. And what have you, because she's not available today, so we get that today. Is that a thing that can be done? Perfunctory, or leave it as the way it is?
So can she sign it, today or tomorrow? She
Is
is,
it a digital signature?
yeah, that's fine,
I can email it to her
Okay,
with DocuSign.
then that's fine.
yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure we, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
And so, yeah. It's not filled in because of what we needed happen today. First, second, who's absent, who's present.
Yes,
And you can write those. So, that's it.
Eric, where you were looking at the certificate where it says, should we change that regular to special meeting?
That's my
where,
Yeah,
certificate.
oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Both has special meeting on the first page, but regular meeting on the second.
yeah, that's my,
No, that's okay, that's why we're reviewing this.
I do have one more question.
yeah.
It never states anything about Battle Creek, so is this for Battle Creek and Marshall?
Sure.
So, under Federal Transit Administration and section 5307, service areas are defined by urbanized boundaries, not necessarily city boundaries. So the TAC will have an urbanized area that's different than any specific city. So we just reference typically our MPO boundaries we use as our urbanized area. That's why it doesn't call out a specific city.
So this would not have to be done for the Marshall federal and state funding.
Correct.
I just want to make sure that we have to do it again. This takes care of both.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Right.
All right, any other discussion? Can I get a motion to, approve this resolution? Awesome. Support. Okay, with those changes.
Yes.
The second page or what have you, as leader with your appropriate directors and what have you. Who made the motion? Let it be noted that, Amy Evans moved and Tom Tarkowitz supported. Other than discussion, we've already had any other discussion? Okay, for our call, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Perfect. Resolution carries. We'll go ahead and complete that. I'll double check that and we'll get Ms. Davis to ratify that. All right. Moving into any other public comments? Okay. See my BCAT friends are here. Thank you for your carrying the message back to the service work in Columbia. Seems like it's went in, so I'm happy with that. We're a close resident there.
Lesson tonight, they're closing the penetrator.
It's not nearly as bad as what's been happening, so we're good. Moving into board and executive director comments and communications to the board. One thing that I would like to say is after ratifying these things, once again, welcome Mallory.
Thank you.
And looking at you like an associate that I am as a technical assistant. We change that language going forward, but I appreciate your stick to itiveness, making sure, no pun intended, all the trains are running on time with this board and you put the right thing with the right people. And it really shines through that, you're built for this transportation thing and people you have around you are really complimentary to, your action. So I appreciate it.
One comment. Last Friday, the SMAC board had our strategic planning. And at the end, we voted for what are our major goals. Transportation 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago, was like number one. Because, but now because of TAC, we've dropped to, number 3, maybe 4, just so you know, that, because of what we're doing here and what's happening. Now, there's other things smack as a higher level. So,
Oh, good.
That's
So,
awesome.
so yeah, the Pareto chart worked.
yeah, food securities first, senior center sites are second. And the transportation, there's might be another one that is there, so.
Okay. Great. Well, since we brought up the SMAC piece, did we ever dovetail back on that SMAC service provider piece?
No, you mean having the meeting, like a round table with all of the providers?
No, that was something different. We were talking about, I think, which the CA or CIR.
It was just from Jimmy Hackman.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so we took care of that.
yes.
SMAC, do we need
I
to?
think we still need to sit down with them and make sure we understand the long-term
Okay,
vision. I think it's important for SNAC to understand that we're not in a position today to take over any operations or even be able to fully coordinate with another system. But that it's, probably after the first of the year, time to start having those conversations for the next fiscal year of how we can collaborate and coordinate.
yeah, so what we're talking about is there was concern with allocation of dollars and how things bubbled up with regards to the TAC or would community action be harmed or helped in any way or what have you, and us taking a position on making sure that we don't harm them in any way. That's not our goal, but we need to send that message back to Rada at the SMAC board and be very definite that we've got, everybody understands why we're making that decision and who it impacts and so on and so forth. So that was just,
And as a snack board, we are probably going to give community action a 1-year extension on a contract that ends this year, so that'll give more breathing room for everybody to do it right.
so I look forward to having that conversation with those folks and making sure that we are in the right direction. Okay, any other board executive director comments?
Happy to have you. Thank you. I appreciate, I appreciate the confidence and the support that we've had all the way up to this point. I really could not have done it without the team, some of whom are in this room with us, that it has been all hands on deck for the last probably 4 years. I don't know that anybody on my team has worked a normal 40-hour work weeks because we feel like we're trying to keep the wheels on the bus of this system while build the bus of the next system. Obviously, all with our customers in mind, that we don't want anybody to experience a disruption in service. And we're trying to build something better, not just copy and paste it. So I've said it a million times in this setting, let's do it right, not fast. And I'm excited for this next step. Thank you, guys.
Perfect, okay. Hearing any more comments, keep in mind that our next meetings are committee meeting and workshop on August 12th. And then a board meeting the 26th. For all the votes currently. So. You've been pretty good at group. Okay. Hearing none, I'll go ahead and call this workshop adjourned. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Council. Appreciate your help now.
Yeah.
Yeah.